What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Days The Single Life, Season 4, The Tell-All Part 5. So when it starts, they are still on a lunch break. The cast is backstage having lunch, and Veronica is telling the cast that she was really surprised that Jamal took the effort and the time to come up to her and to give like what she considered a really heartfelt apology about all the things that they went through and all the things that he did to her. And she said it in a way like she felt really proud about that Jamal came and apologized to her. And I'm wondering if Veronica is thinking that there's a possibility of them reconciling. I really hope not, because, for the most part, Veronica's a very intelligent woman. She's really with it. So I'm hoping that, she can tell, that she can detect that Jamal is nothing but a player. She's way too old and she's been around the block way too many times to fall for any of Jamal's tactics, for any of his games. But it seems like for whatever reason, Veronica's like really weak for Jamal. So girl, good luck, because while she was telling the cast that, Jamal made this really grand effort of apologizing to her, the camera switches and we see Jamal and Louisa walking off stage together, walking, off set together, into their Uber car, because I don't know where they were going, or I don't know what they were going to go do, but they're leaving together. And Louisa says something like, I'm feeling really tired. I just want to go sleep. And Jamal says, well, can I come sleep with you? And Louisa was like, yeah, I just want to be there when Veronica sees that part of the tell-all. Moving on to Natalie. So where everybody's back on stage, and now it's Natalie's segment again. They bring out Josh, they bring out great grandma Debbie, they bring out her caretaker Caesar, and Michael, Natalie's estranged husband, he also comes out as well. So they start off by showing the clip of Natalie asking Mike for a baby when he came down from Washington, I think. And they were walking through the park together, and then they sat down on a bench, and Natalie was like, I really gave up a lot because I was so busy chasing my dream, chasing my career. And I didn't realize that I was also giving up the prospect of having a family, and I really regret it. And then that's when she asked Mike, what if, we had a baby together? And Mike told her absolutely not, because he's trying to move on and he wants her to move on as well. So they showed that clip, and Mike tells Sean that he was actually really shocked when Natalie asked him that, because they weren't together. And so he was like, he wasn't understanding how they were going to have, this child if they weren't even together as a couple. And then Josh says that Natalie just needs to figure out what she wants. This whole entire time that Josh was on stage, he kept on bringing up that Natalie doesn't know what she wants. She needs to figure out what she wants. And I think Natalie knows exactly what she wants. It may not be what we think makes any sense, but it makes sense to her. I think she knows exactly what she wants. She wants a man to take care of her, and she wants a baby. Okay, that's what she wants. She wants a man to take care of her, and she wants a baby, and she wants to be able to pursue her dreams of becoming this Hollywood starlet. So then the question was posed to Natalie, what was it like to see Mike and Josh in the same room, basically being on stage together with both of her exes? And Natalie says that she sees a pattern. She says, I definitely see a pattern here with me. She says the problem must be me, because all of my relationships have absolutely failed. So I must be the problem. So everybody tries to tell her, oh, Natalie, don't say that. You're not the I'm like, y'all, look, this is the reason why Natalie keeps doing the things that she does and keeps on getting the same results, because nobody wants her to see the truth. No, it's not about, oh, Natalie, you're not the problem. Natalie, you need to do some self-reflection. Yes, there is a pattern here. There is definitely a pattern. You need to figure it out, because what I think her pattern is I think that she's an opportunist. She seeks men out who can help her get what she wants and to get her where she needs to be. She's an opportunist. When the opportunity's there within a man, that's the man that she's going to go with. I don't think she starts off these relationships really for love and for for companionship. Like, I just want someone to spend time with me. I want someone to love me and care for me. I think she's all about climbing to the top. Whatever that top is to her, that's all she's really about. And I think that she gets with men thinking that they're going to help her get there. Maybe her first goal was to come to America, so she used Mike for that. Her second goal was to try to make it in the entertainment business, so she used Josh for that. So that's the reason why her relationships fail, because they don't start off in a genuine and sincere place. Maybe these men, I don't know about Josh, but maybe Mike really thought that he was getting a wife who wanted to spend time with him up there in the woods in Washington, have, these babies with him, get old with her. He was probably imagining all of that. He thought he was going to find that in Natalie, but Natalie had other dreams, other goals, other ambitions. And she probably knew that Mike wanted a more of a traditional type of life than what she could give, but she still went along with him because he was the one that's going to get her to America. Now, I might be wrong. And if I'm wrong, if it ever comes out that she really genuinely loved this man and really wanted to grow old with him and have babies with him, then I'm going to take back everything that I said. But I really do believe that that's why she got with Mike to begin with. And I think with Josh, he wasn't as naive as Mike. I think maybe because he had seen her on TV already. I think Josh was a little bit more aware of Natalie and what she was about. So he dealt with her a little bit differently than Mike did. I think with Josh, he probably thought, well, we can get into this situationship and it's going to benefit both of us. We're both going to get something out of it. I think for Josh, it was more like a business transaction in a way when it comes to relationships, like I'll do for you, you do for me, and then we're both happy. But I think when Natalie began wanting too much of him, when he was like, okay, this really wasn't outlined in our contract for you to meet my children and, spend the holidays with me. It was supposed to be completely transactional. That's when he began to back away. Moving on. So she talks about how she sees a pattern. So Mike lets them know that he is in a new relationship. Him and this new woman of his, they've known each other for a year, and they've been together in a serious relationship for about 6 months. And you can tell that this really affected Natalie. Mike, he said it's a very serious relationship, and they asked him, has he started the divorce process yet? And he was like, actually, yeah, I did. And then that's when great grandma Debbie hobbles across the stage, or she goes backstage, and she comes back out with a manila envelope, obviously with some type of documents inside of it. And everybody's like, what are you doing, great grandma Debbie? What is that? What's going on? And she hands the envelope to Natalie. And then Mike explains that, he has started the divorce process, and this was her being served with the divorce papers. And Natalie was like completely blindsided. She was so blindsided. So she didn't know what to do with herself. And I think when Natalie is in a position where she's like uncomfortable or doesn't really know what's going on, she kind of like takes on this little girl persona. And she's like, okay, after she was like over the shock a little bit, she was like, okay, where do I sign? Where do I need to sign? It's okay, I'll sign. Where do I need to sign? And everybody on stage was telling her, do not sign a damn thing until you have someone else, preferably an attorney, look over the document to make sure that he's not going to be cheating you out of anything. Now, Mike is a good guy. And even Tim was like, Mike is a great guy. I don't think he's going to do anything underhanded. Honey, you don't know. When it comes to love and war, you don't know what the other person's going to do. So Natalie, I would also advise you the same thing. Do not sign anything until you have an attorney. I would prefer an attorney for you to go over everything with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that this is absolutely going to be equitable and fair for both sides. Okay. So Natalie was like, I still have my clothes at his house and I can't believe this is happening. And Mike is like, yeah, your clothes are exactly where you left them. Hurry up and come get them. So Miss Debbie, got really upset. Miss Debbie, the one that was seeing Osama, Julian's mom, she got really upset with Mike and great grandma Debbie, because she was like, this is really underhanded and sneaky. She called great grandma Debbie a Judas, because great grandma Debbie was like, what do you mean what are you talking about? Like, she didn't understand why Debbie thought this was an underhanded move. I thought myself that this was a really underhanded move. I was just like surprised that people on stage were supporting what Mike and great grandma Debbie did, that they thought this was a good thing. Now, obviously, okay, she needs to be served papers. And I don't know if he was having a hard time serving her, because I can't think of any other way or any other reason why he would want Natalie to be served in this way, other than he had a hard time serving her, So it just didn't make any sense to do it on stage, filming a tell-all. To me, I thought that was extremely embarrassing for Natalie. Veronica said that this was way better than being served by a constable. Why? What is a constable is just coming there to give you some documents? Like, I don't understand what is wrong with a constable serving you papers. That's the way it is. That's what the law allows in a lot of jurisdictions, that, you can be served by constable, or you can be served by private processor. So if he didn't want to do it by constable, he'd rather do it through great grandma Debbie. I don't know why he couldn't do it through a private processor, have her served like that, with a person who's in regular clothes, not in a uniform, in an intimidating uniform, driving up in an intimidating cop car, just a regular person in a regular car showing up and giving you the documents. I don't know why he couldn't do that. And if it had to be at the tell-all, because for whatever reason, he didn't know her address, was having a hard time serving her, and it had to be on television during a tell-all, then why didn't you have someone else do it that wasn't like a part of the cast or directly connected to Natalie? A stagehand, a producer, an assistant producer, whoever does the catering over there. Have someone else who is removed from the situation give her the papers if it had to be this way. I don't think it had to be this way. I think that, I don't know why Mike would do this, because I thought Mike was pretty much a decent guy. So this is something that Josh would do, some sneaky mess that Josh would do. So I don't understand why Mike did it, like why he wanted to do it this way. I thought it was embarrassing. She did not take it like, oh, thank you, great grandma Debbie, for serving my divorce papers. Natalie did not react like that. Natalie was crying. She was shook. She was so shook, and I felt bad for her. Natalie is a lot, she is a lot to handle. But one thing that we can't take away, she makes the show what it is. I felt like this was not fair, and it wasn't right for her to be served like this. Like I said, if he had to do it in this way, which I don't think he did, but if he really had to do it in this way, he should have done it through another person other than through Cole's mom. So is it Cole or Colton? Whatever. So Larissa called him Colty. So like I said, Miss Debbie called her a Judas. Mike. Okay. Yeah. So then the Debs go back and forth. Okay. The two Debs go back and forth, insulting each other. And as they were going back and forth, great grandma Debbie starts with the whole profanity. She loves to use her profanity. And I always feel like when you're having a disagreement with someone, or even an argument with someone, and one person resorts to the name calling and using profanity, I feel like that person has ran out of points to make. That person no longer has any valid points to stand on, so then they resort to the name calling and the insults and trying to hit below the belt. And so you've clearly lost that argument if that's what you have to do, because Miss Debbie I thought that Miss Debbie could go on all night with great grandma Debbie. I thought they could go back and forth all night. But when great grandma Debbie was running out of steam, she resorted to calling her an effing bitch. And I thought that was just really crass. People can cuss, and I don't have an issue with cussing. I really don't. If you only knew, I really don't have an issue with cussing. I just have to keep it cute on this channel because, you never know who's watching. So, but I don't have a problem with people cussing and using profanity, freedom of speech and all that. I support it 100%. But I just thought that, I don't know, when great grandma Debbie when she called her an effing bitch, I was just like, ugh. That is not a good look, great grandma Debbie. So, especially since, Miss Debbie was keeping it cool, calm, and collected. So they go back and forth with the insult, not with the insults, but with the arguments. And Natalie said that she doesn't want a divorce. She says, I don't want to get a divorce. So I don't want to sign anything. I don't want a divorce. They asked Mike, are you considering marriage with your new girlfriend? And he said that they're taking it really, really slow. I think he said that they just moved in together. It's, they want to take it really slow. They're not rushing to do anything. And then Josh, with his idiotic self, he says, well, if he can take it slow, why can't I? Josh, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Okay, God gave you 2 brain cells. Please make the best use of them as you possibly can. You're an idiot. Nobody has a problem with you taking it slow with Natalie. I think the issue is that it seems like you're leading her on. She's making it very clear what she wants from you. It doesn't matter if it's ridiculous or crazy or it's really wacky. She's making it clear what she wants from you. She was expecting you to treat her more like her girlfriend. She wants to meet your family, your kids. She wants to spend holidays with you. And you can't give her a straight answer as far as why you can't do those things, because you're just using her and leading her on. If it was about taking it slow, that's fine. You can take it slow. Nobody would be against that. But it's just so obvious that you're just using her. That's where the issue is. It's not, Josh, you're an idiot. Just be quiet. So, okay. So Mike says that he definitely sees a future with this woman. He sees them having children together. And when he said that, it just gutted Natalie, she just started crying. And, she did the whole ugly cry thing when he mentioned, possibly having children with her. And I mean, I would say, I can't even say that Mike stole, or any man stole, the best years of her fertility. It's just her herself wasting time with men that I feel like she really wasn't trying to be in a meaningful relationship with. And so now she's the place where she's at now, where she feels like she has to struggle having children possibly. I don't know what's going on. So Josh saying, okay, so Josh, he just was singing Great Grandma Debbie's praises for serving Natalie. Great Grandma Debbie tells us that Mike was looking for someone to serve Natalie, and so she had volunteered to do it because she's Natalie's friend and she cares about Natalie. And so she thought that, what better person than her to be able to serve. I didn't understand that. I didn't get it. If I really cared about someone, I would not want to be directly involved in the dissolution of their marriage. I wouldn't be like, hey, girlfriend, let me give you these divorce papers that your soon-to-be ex-husband is trying to serve you. I wouldn't want to do that to my really good friend, someone that I really loved and cared about. I wouldn't want to do that. Serving someone there's nothing wrong with you started a court action, a legal process. Okay, fine. You have to do that. Y'all haven't been together for years. Y'all need to move on. You have to get the divorce. No issue. But, and she has to be served. That's the law. That's what it is. Fine. But to have her friend, I just didn't I didn't get why her friend Debbie had to do it. I didn't understand that, especially when she reacted the way she did. Y'all could clearly see that she wasn't thankful or grateful that she was served by one of her good friends, or whatever the hell Great Grandma Debbie is to Natalie. So Great Grandma Debbie, her caretaker Caesar, tells Josh, well, now that the divorce is in process, Josh, now you can move forward with Natalie. So Josh starts stuttering. Okay, anytime someone corners him about what are your intentions with Natalie, he starts stuttering. He starts, beating around the bush. He can't get a clear sentence out. He says that, well, she doesn't even know what she wants. I don't even know what she wants. And he's always trying to put the blame on Natalie as far as why their relationship can't move forward. Stop, Josh. This is what we're talking about. It's not the fact that you want to move slowly with her. You want to take it slowly with her. It's because you're playing these mind games. And yeah, she's playing games too. Natalie is playing games too. Okay, they're playing games with each other. I don't think Natalie really cares for Josh in that way. Maybe she cares about, or she's really wanting the idea or the illusion of being in a relationship with Josh, but I don't think she really cares about Josh, the person, really in that way. But he's like, well, she doesn't even know what she wants. And then let her go. Then let her go. If she doesn't know what she wants and she's really confused and y'all are just using each other, and just let her go. You have the upper hand because you're the one that's helping her out financially. So she's always going to have a reason to come back to you. What is your reason for going to her? And if it's all about you're a charitable person and you want to help, you want to help women who are who are financially distressed, then just set up an account for her and just put money in the account, and then you don't have to see her or communicate with her or anything like that. He said that he is protecting his family until Natalie can figure out what she wants. I thought that was just really like twisting the knife in her back when he talked about how he's protecting his family from Natalie, as if she's like a negative person or a bad person that his family needs protection from. And I think what he meant was, I don't want my family or my children to get too close and attached to her if I start bringing her around them, and then she doesn't know what she wants in this relationship, and then we end up breaking up, and then you have multiple people now who are heartbroken. I think that's what he meant. I'm trying to clean it up for him because the way he said it just sounded really, really rude. When he's like, I'm protecting my family from her, it just didn't sound right at all. So then Tim says to Josh, are you ready to go back to being boyfriend and girlfriend? He says he's not. I forgot what he said. I think he was stuttering again, but he isn't. And I just want Natalie to forget about Josh. Just forget about him. Just leave him alone. Let him go by the wayside. He's just playing games. He's just using her, I guess, the way that she's using him. They need to just leave each other alone. Her crying about, not being able to have a family with Josh and not being a part of his family. Girl, let all that go. Josh does not want that from you. He doesn't want you to be his girlfriend. He doesn't want to be your boyfriend. He just wants to keep this sugar daddy, sugar baby thing going on. After that, it was time for everybody to leave, all the extras to leave. And when Josh got up to say goodbye to Natalie, he was like, bending down to give her a kiss. And she was just like, get away from me. And then when Mike bent down, no, he didn't. When he got up to say goodbye to Natalie, I think he was just going to shake her hand. I'm not sure. But instead of that, she actually stood up and gave him a really big lingering hug. And Mike got uncomfortable because the hug just went on and on and on. She wasn't letting go. And Mike got uncomfortable. And I think that was Natalie's way sending him a message. I don't really give a damn who you got in your life, what you got going on with that other woman. If I want you back, I'm going to get you back. I think that's what I took. I think Natalie probably has it in her mind that if she wants Mike back, she can get him back. All she has to do is, do her act, her baby doll, sultry, sexy act, and she thinks that she can get Mike back. But I think Mike is really trying to move on. And then they did that after the show thing where everybody gives their final thoughts about their own situations and where they're headed. I really didn't care. The Debbies went at it again, back and forth. This time, Great Grandma Debbie, she talked about Miss Debbie's clothes because I think Great Grandma Debbie, they're all sitting backstage. The tell-all is over, and they're just, jaw-jacking, waiting for their Ubers to show up. And Great Grandma Debbie said something about Chantel's outfit, like how nice she looked or something. And then Chantel says, well, Miss Debbie says that, I'm just going to paraphrase. Miss Debbie thinks that I look like a whore. I look like a slut, that I dress like a slut. And Great Grandma Debbie tells Miss Debbie, this Debbie was talking about your outfit. This one here who looks like a clown, she was talking about your outfit. Okay, fine. So she threw some jabs at Miss Debbie. Miss Debbie, she held her ground. Great Grandma Debbie talked about how Miss Debbie has to lie about her age just to get a date. And Miss Debbie was trying to say, well, if that's the worst thing that I've ever done in my life, then I'm cool with that. Shaving 10 years off my age. If that's the only thing that you can bring up that I've done horribly, then I'm cool with that. And then, Great Grandma Debbie, she started with the whole, talking really crass again, saying something, well, at least I'm getting laid every night. And I'm like, yuck. Like, stop it. And the only reason I'm saying yuck is because I don't like Great Grandma Debbie. I don't like her. There's nothing yuck about older people still getting intimate. Nothing, because we all wish to be at that point. When we get to that point, we all wish that we can, lay it down like that. But I don't like Great Grandma Debbie. I didn't like her when her and her son and Larissa were on. I didn't like her then. I still don't like her now. I just don't like her. So the way that she talks with her profanity and her, crass language, I'm just not vibing with that at all. It just makes her look a whole lot worse. I wish that she has some kind of decorum and respect about her, but she wants to do this, gutter talk, talk like she's from the streets or the trailer park. I don't know. She really wants to cheapen herself by using I just don't like her. I just don't like her. So I hope I never have to see her ever again. But that is the end of 90 Day Fiancé, The Single Life, season whatever. I think it's season 4. I don't know. Thank you so much for every single one of you that has joined me in these reviews, for every single one of you that has commented, that has rated the videos. I appreciate you from the very, very bottom of my heart, because y'all make it worthwhile. Okay, these shows are kind of difficult to get through sometimes. I do enjoy watching them. I do enjoy, reality TV. I really do. It's like, my, what is it? My escapism or whatever. But sometimes they're hard to get through. And what makes it worth it is knowing that I'm going to come here and talk about it with y'all and get y'all's inputs and y'all's thoughts on what's going on with these shows. And I really do appreciate it. I really do enjoy it. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please do not forget to rate the video. If you like this content, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.